morning, campers. We are currently near Castle Gate, Utah, coming off of Soldier Summit on US Highway 6. At a blistering 45 mile an hour. This is a steep road. I am not going fast. My Wi-Fi's out. What a surprise. No cell service in the canyon. We do have a way station coming up, so I'm curious to see exactly what that looks like today, because when they're open they can be kind of a pain. Because the way station here is like right on a curve and just tucked in up against the wall. So let's see. We've gotten hit by this one before. Way station, next passing lane, 5 miles. All right. The 55 speed limit now, 45 mile an hour turn. All right, let's get our speed down then. How's my engine brake doing that? All right, well, we're 46. That's probably fine. Yeah, that was fine. That was plenty slow enough for that. I know, buddy. White line's terrifying. Terrifying. Absolutely terrifying. Those white lines. Let's just turn that off for the remainder of the video. I know how much everyone loves the buzzer noise. So we're just going to leave that currently disabled. We are still headed south towards Houston. Don't try and pass a motorcycle. That would be a bad idea. I saw him thinking about it. I'm like, I do not want to sandwich you. I mean, I'd love a sandwich right now, but I do not want to sandwich a motorcycle. That would be bad. Alright. Descent control back on. We are definitely going downhill again through this little gap here. This is a dramatic bit of road. This is a very dramatic bit of road. This is the climb from Price, Utah up to Soldier Summit before the drop down into Provo. There's a couple cities down here. There's Helper, Price, and then I think technically this area is Castle Gate. I'm not 100% sure on that. I think the way station's right around the corner. Yeah, port of entry, half a mile. We're gonna keep our speed at 45 here, because if they're open, I have very little time to react. Trucks stop at port of entry, and it's closed. Yay! Yeah, that's the exit lane right there. You've got, like, that's all the time you have to react to that being open. It's a bit much. Well, there's somebody in there. They could be open at any time. There's a trooper car there, so someone's hanging out, doing permits. Maybe they're pulling in westbound traffic. We're currently eastbound on US Highway 6. I believe this is also now US Highway 91. I think I'm past that. Split. Not 100% sure on that one. Right, so I think right around the corner here is Helper. Yeah, this is Helper. Thank you, sign, for answering the exact question I had. So Helper, I think Helper is named for, because this is a railroad town. You can see the railroad right down to the right. This is a railroad town. I think this is where the locomotive shed was for adding Helper locomotives to heavy freight trains that were about to go up the grade. So I'm pretty sure that's why it's called Helper. It's just because, you know, this is where you got your helper for going up the mountain. We saw a pretty pretty long coal freight train coming down when we were in like super narrow bit of the westbound descent toward Provo. We were climbing out of Provo, of course, Spanish Fork. But still, 55 please. There you go. Good job, buddy. This is going to widen out into a 4-lane, not exactly a freeway, but like a expressway, I would say. It's kind of interesting because it's one of those highway loops around a town where you can see they future-proofed parts of it just in case they want to turn it into a freeway later. But we're still following the old right-of-way. Yeah, here's the split. Okay, so that's Business Loop 6 goes straight. And then by staying in the left lane, up this little hill, we will bear off to the right and go around the city of Price. A little bit of braking. There we go. Yeah. No, that's Helper. That's still Helper. All right. Yeah. Boy, you really should not be putting it in neutral here. It's way too steep, buddy. Mr. Apophis trying to gain momentum through these, through the undulations of the highway. It's like, I've got a guy merging in front of me. Can we not? All right, here we go. Now it's splitting. Proper 4-lane divided highway. Mostly, it's somewhat divided. It's unsure of whether or not it wants to be a highway or a freeway, so it's very divided itself. That was a terrible joke. That wasn't even funny. That's just not even funny. Oh, that's a nice new Family Dollar. I don't remember that. But this is a lovely city. I like this town. 65, all right. 65, indeed. Around Helper. So now we're between Helper and Price. Price will be up ahead on the left. The original Route 6 road is also off to our left. We're still on a bypass. We're not following the original right-of-way. Route 6 is over by the railroad. The old Route 6. This is new Route 6. Ooh, ears just popped. Ha! Feels good. I'm not entirely sure how far we're going to get tonight. I have my GPS set for the truck stop at Ute Mountain Travel Center and Casino, which is the Ute Mountain Indian Reservation. And I would love to stop there because they have lots of parking and they're very cool people, very friendly, and they've got like groceries. Well, sometimes they have groceries in the travel center. And last time I was there, they did not because they're like redoing their coolers. At least last time I stopped a couple weeks ago. But they are a great place to stop. That's one of the few places I can find like proper grocery items in truck stops. But I don't know if we're going to make it there tonight. It's 247 miles away. We have 4 hours and 14 minutes on our clock, which is, if we average 60 miles an hour, that is just enough time to drive 254 miles, which is more than 246. But I don't think we're going to average 60 miles an hour for the rest of the day. I really don't, because we're going to be. I've got it set for 65, and all the places that we can do 65 will do 65. But part of the issue with this road is this is not a freeway. There's there's parts of it. It's future-proofed. This part of this road is future-proofed a little bit, so that maybe in the future it could be a freeway, but it's not. It is very much not a freeway. There's crossroads. This road goes through towns. There's stoplights. There's low speed limit sections. We're not going to be doing 65 the whole way from here to Colorado. That's just not going to happen. Speaking of divided freeway bits, here we go. This is the start of the Price bypass, the Route 6 right-of-way bearing off to the left. We were kind of close to it there for a minute, but not anymore. So this is the Price bypass. This is the one that's like actual proper divided highway with future-proof sections where even the parts that aren't divided yet They've got, like, the right-of-way has already been purchased by the state. And there's, like, space to add bridges for, without having to destroy any existing intersections to put them in. So it's always fascinating to see that sort of thing in a city. But this section's actually, like, you know, 4-lane divided highway, limited access. It's lovely. But this is not what our road's going to look like the whole way. In fact, south of Price, this is going to become, once we get through Wellington? Question mark? I don't remember if that's the exact name of the town. Woo, that was a nice gust of wind from the right. Once we get past the town south of Price, then this highway kind of becomes alternating 3 lanes. So, 1 lane each direction, alternating passing lane in the middle. That's kind of the name of the game for going down toward I-70. So we'll be hard-pressed to keep up 60 mile an hour, 65 through that, but we should be able to. We've still got one, like, 45 mile an hour section before we get to that, though. And then we are on I-70 for a very short amount of time between Green River and Moab, Utah. And then we're back on 191. We drive straight through downtown Moab. Like, Main Street, Moab, Utah is 191. It's the road we're going to be doing. It is a busy street. It is very busy. Very, very busy. It is low speed limit. It is lots of pedestrians, lots of traffic. So we're going to be very careful because it's still the tail end of tourist season. Even though it is late September, there are still people coming out to the national parks at this time of year. And we do not want to run any of them over, because that is frowned upon in polite society. In polite society, you can run over all the tourists you want, but polite society, tourists are sources of income for these cities that then make truck stops and sustain my business of hauling food from place to place. Also, tourists buy expensive food. So, you know, I haven't delivered a load to Moab, but, you know, we've got customers in Grand Junction that I imagine, that's probably where the nearest food service places are that serve restaurants and stuff in Moab. So, you know, someday, I'm sure something hauled in my truck will end up on a plate. No, I'll just stay in this lane. This is the right lane's ending. Will end up on a plate in Moab, and it will probably be a really expensive item, so that's going to be money for us. Like, this is one of those spots I was talking about. You can see where, even though we're getting diverted onto this bridge on the left, there's room for a second bridge there. Between this bridge and the intersection to the right where the ramp comes down. Even the statue, like the little T-Rex and Velociraptor statue, is out of the way of where a new bridge would go. So, there's room. There is space for this stuff. That is Price off to our left. That is like Central Price. Alright, let's get our cruise control back on. Now that we've passed the dude. Because we are catching up with some traffic and I want my cruise control to moderate our speed for the traffic ahead of us as much as possible. We're also, after this exit, there's, yeah, this is the last exit before we drop back onto the old Route 6 right away and stop being a super cool highway. So that'll be fun. That will be fun. I don't remember when I checked on satellite if they actually had room to extend this highway beyond this interchange yet. Is that a truck stop? That might be a truck stop. Little Sinclair down there. I don't know. It's not on my GPS, so it's either new or it's not a truck stop. That is the sound of our engine brakes bringing our speed down a little bit because our RV friend up ahead of us is doing about 62 mile an hour. My cruise is still set for 65. So in order to not hit him, my truck will be adjusting our speed to keep us a safe distance behind. Oh, now the speed limit's 60, so let's just go ahead and drop to 60. Which will solve that problem. Actually, the RV also dropping to 60, so that's perfect. They'll stay perfectly in front of us. But we've got a nice tight right turn up ahead anyway, so we'll probably lose them there. Unless they're as cautious as I am. We'll see. Speed down. This is actually the same day as the previous video. I'm realizing that I'm heading down toward Texas. I might not have any desire to record stuff down there, but I love this part of Utah. So let's just do like 2 videos today that I can upload on separate days, and then there's like less of a gap between videos for you guys because I've got multiple videos from this trip that I can upload. Like all the most interesting parts of this journey that we're on from Washington to Houston, Texas, from the Pacific Northwest along the Columbia River all the way down to the Gulf Coast. The most interesting parts of that are all up here in Utah. And we hit them all on the same day. So, you know, it's fine. Let's just get right. I know, buddy. Very worried about those cones. That was a collision warning because I was changing lanes, so I appeared to be driving straight towards one of those orange barrels. And my truck was very worried for a moment there. I don't know what's going on with the orange barrels, and they're kind of all over the place, so I'm just going to keep my speed down just in case there's any in my lane. Because I can't quite tell from here, but I know the opposite direction. There are barrels in the travel lanes, so I maybe don't want to go super fast. And the speed limit's still only 60. Yeah, see, there's one in my lane. Because it's been hit before. There's one under the guardrail, good grief. Ah, those poor barrels. What did they do to deserve that fate? Just jumping in front of cars or something. But yeah, that was Helper in Price, Utah, starting from the Castle Gate and passing the port of entry. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I love driving down here. This is one of my favorite parts of Utah to drive through. So thank you guys so much for watching. My name's Ellie O'Dare. You can find me on social media at Ellie O'Dare. Twitter's the best place to get a hold of me. You can also leave comments below the video and I will see them. I will read them all. And if you would like to say hi on the gaming services, you can find me at Ellie O'Dare on Xbox Live, Steam, and Nintendo Switch. And if I could breathe, that would be wonderful. There we go. I knew the soda before recording this video was a bad idea. But yeah, you can find me on the gaming services at Ellie O'Dare. Come say hi on Steam, because that is the best place to actually like see and play video games with me. Thank you guys so much for watching. Have a great day.